अज्ञानतिमिरान्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नारायण परावेता देवा नारायणाङ्गजाः नारायण परालोका नारायण परामखाः नारायण परो योगो नारायण परं तपः नारायण परज्ञानं नारायण परागतिः तस्मातेकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येयपूज्यश्च नित्यदा। जयति जगति मायां यस्य कायाधवस्ते वचनरचनमेकं केवलं शाकलय्य ध्रुवपदमपि यातो यत्कृपातो ध्रुवोऽयं सकलकुशलपात्रं ब्रह्मपुत्रं नतास्मि। Sarvebhyah Namaskaraha. We are saying the Narada Bhakti Sutras, and I have completed up to 25 sutras in the Narada Bhakti Sutra. Sage Narada is extolling the Bhakti, Parabhakti, or he is praising the Parabhakti in this chapter. And he said that in the previous sloka or the previous sutra, he said that Parabhakti is supreme than all the other paths. Why is it supreme than all the other paths? He gives explanation in this sutra, that is in Sutra 26. Phala Rupatvat. Because of the phala, the rupa of phala, because of that, it is praised. That is, the Parabhakti is praised. What phala does it give? Phala means the fruit. What fruit does it give? Ananda Swarupa. That is the rupa of Parabhakti. That experiencing bliss, that happiness, that feeling of oneness, that is the rupa of the result of Parabhakti. And before this rupa, to experience this phala, that Parabhakti itself is praised. The result of any of the other yoga in the end is this phala only. That is this result, this ananda only. When we practice jnana yoga, the result is ananda swarupa. We merge in Bhagavan. When we merge in Bhagavan, definitely it is ananda. When we do meditation, the same thing at the higher level, that is in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, we merge in Bhagavan. That's why many of the yogis who go in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, they do not want to come out to this world. They want to remain in that state itself because it is Ananda, complete bliss. Bliss means we can only say it by word. A person who experiences it, even a drop, will not come out of it. We have not experienced, we have only read in the scriptures. So we are in this worldly life. When a person tastes this bliss, the Ananda Swarupa, the infinite nature of Bhagavan, he doesn't want to come back to this world itself. He remains in that Samadhi itself. Because of that phala, to experience that result, the Ananda Swarupa, it is praised than the other yogas. While saying that, Bhagavan, when Sage Narada says that we experience Ananda Swarupa in Parabhakti, means he is not telling about the Gauna Bhakti. Gauna Bhakti is only a mean and Parabhakti is the goal. Gauna Bhakti is not rejected because Gauna Bhakti is the stepping stone to Parabhakti. So, Gauna, a person who practices Gauna Bhakti, there will be division between Bhakta and Bhagavan. He worships Bhagavan. He doesn't merge in Bhagavan. When we worship itself means that concept itself brings the separation. Bhagavan is someone else. I am doing puja for it. But that is absolutely necessary because only by doing that, that itself will advance and lead to Parabhakti. So, Gauna Bhakti is also needed, but it is inferior. But what Sage Narada tell in this sutra is telling about Parabhakti. The result of Parabhakti is supreme. At the same time, even in Jnana Yoga, at the final level, we experience this Parabhakti, the result of Parabhakti only, the Ananda Swarupa. In meditation, also, when we reach that Nirvikalpa Samadhi, we experience the same bliss. So, whatever path we take, the final stage we experience a complete bliss. So, why then is Sage Narada telling that Parabhakti is supreme? Because in from the initial stages itself, we experience that bliss. We experience that feeling of oneness with Bhagavan. Whereas when we practice Jnana Yoga or do for meditation, the initial stages we will not feel. But that bliss, all that feeling of unity, we may not feel. Some may feel, but not all. But in Para Bhakti, the initial stages itself, even in Gauna Bhakti, when we perform a puja or when we do anything, we experience that bliss, that is the Ananda Swarupa. So, taking into account the result what Para Bhakti gives and the result what the Parabhakti in the initial stages itself give to the bhaktas, that is taken into account, and so Parabhakti is supreme than the other path, says Sage Narada. Ananda Rubatvat, it is the rasa, the result is rasa, Ananda Rubatvat, it is complete bliss. Because it is of the Parabhakti, is the Swarupa of Ananda, and we enjoy that bhakti, and so it is supreme than the other paths, says Narada. Because we have seen that some bhaktas, they just, when they think about Bhagavan itself, they are in Ananda. They just forget themselves, that horripilation all over their body, that tears are coming from their eyes. So these are all some of the reactions of that experiencing that Ananda, says Sage Narada. And now in the next sutra, he says that what does a person experience and what does God also expect from the bhaktas, he's telling in the next sutra. Ishwarasyapya abhimana dveshitvat dainya priyatvat cha. Ishwarasya api abhimana dveshitvat. Even Bhagavan, he hates abhimana, egoistic feeling. Dainya priyatvat. Ishvara even likes the dainya, that is humbleness, that meekness, that feeling of non-difference from Bhagavan, that Bhagavan likes. See, we must have heard that in when we are very young, many people, some people may have advised us not to question Bhagavan. He will not like it. Don't say that I am Bhagavan. He will not like it. He will punish you. So all these are some not the proper way of understanding Bhagavan. All these are due to ignorance. But here it says, Dhainya Priyatvat and Abhimana Dveshitvat. Bhagavan even hates Abhimana and he loves humbleness. Here, hate and love does not mean what we experience or what we show to our fellow beings. I hate you, I love you. It's not like that. All these are mundane experiences. What Bhagavan says is, if there is ego, then Bhagavan cannot connect with us, or we cannot connect with Bhagavan. We feel that he is different from us. Bhagavan is different. That's the greatest drawback in worshipping Bhagavan also. When we worship Bhagavan, he is different from us. Only when we think that he resides in us, and we should not take Bhagavan and Bhakti outside us. If we take Bhagavan and Bhakti outside us, then there is the presence of ego. It is the ego which separates the Bhakta and Bhagavan, and this is what Bhagavan doesn't like. Bhagavan doesn't like in the sense he cannot connect with us. And that when we say that Abhimana, I am a great Bhakta, some Gauna Bhaktas will have this feeling. I am a great Bhakta in this temple. I am that as the authority of this temple. So all that separates oneself from Bhagavan. This is not what Bhagavan expects, and if this is practiced, then we cannot reach the Parabhakti also. That ego should be removed by proper knowledge, by proper understanding of Bhagavan. That is, I am not different from Bhagavan, as well as I am not different from other beings, because in him also the Bhagavan resides. And Dainya Priyatvat, he likes a humbleness, a meekness. The humbleness means some people, they will be very modest and say that I am no one. I do not know this. I do not have any property. Also, very humble feeling. This is not humbleness. This is one type of negative ego. When I say I know everything, that is positive ego, and I do not know anything. I am so ignorant about all this. This is negative ego. So ego acts in a person. Ego is Maya, isn't it? Ego acts in a person according to the mentality. So we must be very careful to eliminate this ego. So ego acts in us in different ways. What here Bhagavan tell about this humbleness, dainyatvat means one should not have that separate feeling from Bhagavan. I am different from Bhagavan. I am separate from him. He is supreme and I am a small being. So this separateness or this lack, this sheath of ego separates oneself from Bhagavan, and Bhagavan doesn't like it. He hates that abhimana and he loves dainyatva. Dainyatva means the removal of that ego. And abhimana, that is, I know this, I have everything, I am the great bhakta. This abhimana is darkness. And Bhagavan is brightness. So, how can darkness and brightness exist together? So ahangara, that's why Bhagavan ahangara should be removed. Dveshitvat, he hates ahangara. And a strong dainyatva means the mind must be very strong. The mind should be strong, but without any ego. One has to be a very strong minded person, but one add I with it or mine with it, then it is ego. That is what Bhagavan hates. And another important point in Para Bhakti is we always receive the guidance from Bhagavan. When we connect with Bhagavan, we receive that vibration from him. He lives as to his level without any ego and that with that dainyatva, meekness nature. In all the other paths, for example, in Jnana Yoga, one needs a teacher. To understand knowledge is very difficult, so one needs a teacher. Lot of self effort is needed. In meditation, definitely lot of self effort is needed. So when we put a lot of self effort in it and then we succeed, if we do not attain that proper knowledge or attain to that till that final stages, some practitioners or the sadhakas will have that feeling of ego. That is why my Acharya says that any type of ego can be removed, but when one has that ego of I know everything, I have knowledge, then it is very difficult to remove it, because all the other ego end in this knowledge. And when we have that knowledge, when we have that ego that I have that knowledge, then it is very difficult to be removed. So all this will happen because of that sheath of ego. It separates us from others as well as from Bhagavan. So this is what Bhagavan doesn't like, and that's why he says Abhimana Dveshitvat. He hates or dislikes ego. Dainya Priyatvat. He loves and he loves humility and meekness. That is the destruction of ego. Because of this ego, we are not able to understand Bhagavan as well as our fellow beings also. So this ego should be removed by para bhakti. Or when we have that para bhakti, then automatically this ego will shed off, will wither off, it will go. So says Sage Narada in his 27th sutra, Ishwarasyapya bhimanadveshitvat dhainya priyatvat cha. So I will continue with the next sutra in my next upload. ॐ नमो नारायणाय